greater solidarity across the EU, but also more and faster checks at its external borders to facilitate repatriations. After 3 years and following a long night of negotiations, the EU agreed a major reform of its migration rules, in what is being called an historic day. The so-called Pact on Migration includes 5 strictly intertwined regulations. The biggest one is the so-called binding solidarity mechanism. Every EU country must help frontline member states coming under migratory pressure, either by relocating asylum seekers to their own territory or by financing their asylum systems. A solidarity pool will be established every year at EU level. The minimum is 30,000 asylum seekers to be relocated and €600 million in financial contributions. Member states overwhelmed by sudden massive arrivals can also ask the Commission to declare a crisis situation, which entails more relocations and financial contributions.
La Comisión requerirá entonces que, como mínimo, la respuesta de solidaridad cubra el total de la situación de que se trata del Estado declarado en crisis por un periodo de 12 meses, un periodo máximo de 12 meses.
But there is also an extension of the so-called border procedure, a fast-track process of 12 weeks that member states can apply to some groups of people in order to assess their demands faster and send them back to their countries of origin. It applies to migrants coming from countries with asylum recognition rates below 20%, misleading the authorities, or those considered a danger to national security.
Les procédures aux frontières s'appliquent principalement aux personnes qui ont très peu de chances d'obtenir l'asile, parce qu'ils viennent d'un pays qui n'est pas en guerre. Souvent, ce sont des migrants qui sont venus pour chercher un travail. Et ça, c'est pas possible. On n'a pas le droit de travailler, de traverser les frontières de manière irrégulière. Il faut obtenir un visa, un titre de travail.
However, the EU's cornerstone migration principle, the Dublin Regulation, remains in place, whereby every migrant can ask for asylum in the country of first arrival in the EU. But now, it has more derogations.
But we have also introduced, for example, now the link with diplomas, that if you have a diploma in education and you have a clear link during the last 6 years, that will be in our responsibility in the criteria, to name one example.
The new regulations still have to be approved by both member states and the European Parliament before being adopted. NGOs working in the field already claim the deal could harm migrant people's rights.